I've created dozens of different designs over the years, everything from functional designs like storage crates, toolboxes, and organizers, to articulated designs like flexies, fidgets, and toys. And I can tell you some of the most successful products I've ever designed and created all have this one characteristic in common. And that characteristic is this. It's the fact that they all solve a problem. And in this video, I'm going to help you decide and figure out exactly how to find products that people would actually want to spend money on and how to find problems that exist in the marketplace so that you can develop that product and then sell it to that group of people. Now, if you're watching this video, then it's because you're a seller, you're a designer, you're a creator, you're someone who has a 3D printer and you want to create products and sell those products to a specific market. Whether you're someone who's already been in business, you're just starting a business, or maybe you're just thinking about starting a business, we're all faced with the same reality. And the reality is this, that if you want to create a business, you will inevitably need to create something of value to get people to exchange their hard-earned money for that thing you've created. This is a tale as old as time. For example, for as long as humans have existed, commerce has existed. If you're hungry, you go to a restaurant, you eat at that restaurant, now you feel better. If let's just say you need some place to sleep, you go to a hotel, you pay the night, and now you have a place to sleep. Problem solved. If you need gas, you go to a gas station, you pay the gas, and now your tank is filled up, and now you can drive off as far as you want until you next refill. The same thing applies with 3D printing. If someone has a specific problem, you can create a product that solves that problem and then sell them at that value, if not or more of the value of the product in exchange for their money. Now, here's the thing. How do we actually find problems that people would spend money on to fix? That on its own would probably be a problem that people could solve. Helping people find their own problems or find problems that they can solve, right? Now, this can really get really deep, but I want to show you guys a story on how to kind of piece this together and how to kind of gamify this process of finding something to sell. So I want to take you back maybe 10 to 15 years ago. At that time, I was maybe like 13, 14, 15. And at that time, I had bought this game called Fallout New Vegas. And funny enough, there's like a second season coming out. And it's a game I'm currently playing right now. It's a game that honestly, I love it, but without getting too deep, it's a really great game. And the premise of this game is that you are a courier and you are tasked of delivering something to somebody in Las Vegas, which is called New Vegas in the game. Now, the premise of that really isn't important, but the whole concept of the game is like when you are tasked with this mission, you need to travel to Vegas. Now, what ends up happening as you start traveling to that location is that you start meeting people. And then what ends up happening when you start meeting people is that you start talking to them. And then what happens when you start talking to people, they start telling you about their problems. And then what ends up inevitably happening is that you set yourself out to solve those problems for those people. Why? Well, because you are rewarded either financially, through experience, through benefits, in-game bonuses, whatever that looks like, but the rewards are the same. You get something for helping someone achieve an outcome or a result. The same thing applies in business. If you want to make money, if you want to deliver a product and get paid for it, you need to build or create something that delivers a result for that customer or that person. Now, this is easier said than done, but when you gamify it this way, you'll quickly realize in the very beginning, if you have very little experience, if you have very little, attributes that make you unique or different, if you're not someone well-known or respected, well, you're not likely to be financially compensated. But you are compensated in other ways. So for example, just in the same way where someone would be an intern at like a business, well, they are compensated through experience and time and all the rewards that come with being an intern. Or what about when you go and pay for a mentor to mentor you? Well, you are paying that person because your lack of experience. So you are trying to shortcut that. And in exchange, you're getting that shortcut by paying that money to get that solution solved for you, right? That solution, which is shortening the learning curve as quickly as possible. So my point with this video is like, if you're trying to build a product and, make money with this hobby, truthfully, you need to gamify this process, which either means 1 to 3 things. Either one, set yourself to earn the experience, or the skill sets that allow you to set yourself apart. Now, in the beginning, sometimes you may not make a lot of money, sometimes you may not make any money at all, and sometimes you might actually have to do more work than necessary to actually make the sale. Number two, you'll inevitably have to work harder in order to make the sale, and sometimes earning that first sale is the biggest hurdle over the 100th sale. And believe it, making your first sale is actually way harder than your 100th, if not your 1,000th sale. And number three is that you'll need to pick up the skills in order to actually deliver the results you promise on. Just in the same way in the video game where if you can't proceed on to the next level, or if you can't move on to the next task or mission simply because you don't have the skill sets or prerequisites, the same thing in business. So if you don't know how to design or model or 3D print, then you will actually need to learn these skills. And yes, that might take time to learn these skills, but inevitably you're going to have to do it regardless. So you cannot delay this part or piece because simply you're too lazy to. You need to do it. You need to sit down and do the work. And simply by your inexperience, you're basically offsetting that. But as you do gain the experience over time, then you can financially be compensated through your work and the products that you create. So with that said, this video is short and quick. I hope this video has helped you out. I was sick for the past few days and now I'm kind of getting or easing back into content. But for the most part, this is something I was thinking about as I've seen people who've joined 3D printing school and they all come in with the same question, which is they want to start a business, they don't know what niche to pick in, and they don't know what to sell. And I think if you're able to gamify the process of finding problems that exist in a marketplace and then talking to people who have these problems, well, then inevitably you'll find solution or get ideas for these things. And truthfully, it takes time. And honestly, it takes a lot more work to actually build a good product than it is to just try to make money. And truthfully, your first product is not going to be a one-hit wonder. This is probably one of the biggest things that I see most people have trouble with. They think that their first product that they make needs to be perfect or hit a home run. When truthfully, for me, for example, it took me 12 products before I got to that one product that actually took off. Keep in mind, 12 products is a lot. But that was time, energy, and investment. And that cost of my time, energy, investment was because I was offsetting what I didn't know in skills and time and energy and what I needed to know in terms of a seller. And I offsetted that through experience and time, energy, and effort, and then made a product that actually was good. And now I start to realize and see the pattern, which is what people want and then what people don't want. And once you start to see the pattern of what people want, then you inevitably hit a winning streak, and which is why you see people just do exceptionally well for a long period of time. And then why people just struggle for like forever, right? So hopefully this video helps you guys out. If you guys are interested in learning the skills to creating your own models and designs for 3D printing, I'm gonna leave a link down below in the description. With that said, I'll see you guys in the community.